I've made a lot of videos ribbing on TikTokers. For example, they can be complete degenerates. They can be cringe beyond belief. I know the word cringe is completely dead and buried, but there is no other word to describe these absolute morons. You've got TikTokers that try to extort their fan base, like for example, the pink sauce lady that we talked about infamously.
So you're saying that you contacted me?
No, I'm saying you never contacted me.
Okay, but why would I contact someone who's fabricating something on the internet?
But nothing was fabricated.
To be honest, you're not special.
Wow. You also had that absolutely painful NPC trend on TikTok where people were just, you know, acting like complete robots in return for money.
Playboy Ray, give me roses. Smell good. Jury Day, thanks for the roses. Smell good. Cowboy.
And apparently reading more into that, that was apparently to stimulate certain people's kinks because they were into like controlling an NPC, I think. Again, I'm not one to ever judge anyone's kinks ever again in the history of time. I understand that, but still, it's a little bit odd. But even after all of that, there are so many sad situations on TikTok. You will have people that were incredibly famous at one point, like for example, Jason Nash in the David Dobrik circle. He was really popular. He was in the LA scene, and now he's like just going live on TikTok begging money off people.
The man, the myth, the legend, the most mysterious man on TikTok. Now trying to go for 50,000. We need 10,000 points for doubles, guys. Guys, are you seeing this? Everybody shout out Mike in the chat. Mike with the galley!
I'm going to do a whole separate video on Jason Nash. Don't worry, that is in the works because that is one of the biggest falls from grace humanly imaginable. But today I want to talk about a TikToker that is actually in very serious trouble, and not in the kind of like, haha, he did a bad, but more something completely out of his control. Now, one thing that is very popular on TikTok is news. Like for example, on YouTube, you'll watch commentary channels to get your daily slop. For example, when there's a new topic, you'll go and watch Critical. And then when you forget to watch Critical, you might hopefully click on one of my videos. That's usually how it works. He's kind of like at the top of the totem pyramid and it all just kind of trickles off down there. I know I say this every video and it sounds like a cope, but believe me, any video I've looked at on the Power Live channel that has done really well, it's because Charlie won't talk about it. Now, obviously, TikTok is a completely different beast from YouTube. On TikTok, videos are very short. Meanwhile, on YouTube, you need to stretch the video out for at least 8 minutes to get mid-rolls in to make more than 3 pennies. But news on TikTok is quick fire. You'll see a lot of commentary channels upload daily, maybe twice a day. But on TikTok, they are pumping out these news stories like 4 times a day because, you know, all you need to do is sit in front of the camera and just act really erratic for around 30 seconds. One of the biggest sources on TikTok for news at the minute is Dylan Page. I love this guy. His energy is amazing. I like scrolling through his videos in quick succession, and the beginning of each video, it's like he's having like a mini mental breakdown.
In a first-of-its-kind document, this is wild. Hey, here's why people don't. A 12-year-old boy stole. This is crazy. I cannot believe this. Just luxury cars like this. A riot has just broken out at a school. This is so creepy. Shocking footage has just been released.
This is wild. This is crazy. Oh you! So crazy. Now, Dylan is huge on TikTok. He has around 10 million followers. Translating that into the people that use YouTube, that's about 10,000 subscribers. But like I said, news is huge on TikTok because people are choosing to watch content creators share the news than the actual tabloids, because tabloids explain news in some of the most boring ways possible.
Are you boring?
No, I'm not boring.
Your favourite colour socks to wear?
Blue.
I do find it funny how the news cycle has reached this point now where you have people, journalists, that will cover a story, but they will do it in such a boring way that it only appeals to boomers. TikTokers and YouTubers will yoink the story, regurgitate it, maybe add some memes in there, and they probably make more profit. But I'm not talking about Dylan Page today. I'm talking about another incredibly popular news TikToker called Noah Glenn Carter. So this guy, like Dylan, is always grinding. Like, he's pumping out around 4 videos a day, usually just basically explaining any kind of situation. I mean, he's talked about stuff I've talked about, like the dream situation, whatever other content creator has done a bad in the past 5 days or so, but obviously condensed into that TikTok format. Now, Noah has an enormous following on TikTok, and he's actually tried to spread his wings and move over to YouTube. It's failed kind of miserably, but to be fair, with most content creators, once you get big on one singular platform, to migrate integrate onto the others unless you've got like a team that basically holds your hand on how to do it. It is very difficult. Like, for example, on YouTube, I've got like 5 million subs nearly on the main channel, but on TikTok, I've got barely over 50K because it is so hard to actually change your entire content format into, you know, basically Ritalin for people with ADD. Now, something really sad actually happened with Noah. He stopped uploading kind of briefly, which is surprising for someone that churned out so much content, but it actually came out that his family home, his childhood home, had completely burnt down. Now, the TikTok comments were about as sympathetic as you could imagine, most of them basically saying, "We got Noah Glenn Carter house fire before GTA 6. I do like when a lot of people have some of the worst takes imaginable. They preface it with a sob emoji or a skull emoji. Like, that's gonna give some kind of insurance if the joke doesn't land. And then after filming, you know, the entire house burning down, he then made another follow-up video from his perspective. And you can tell that the guy is basically in tears. And no shit, his entire house had burnt down.
This is my house right now, guys. I was in it on the second story and I had to climb out of a window, but I'm alive. Everybody's safe. Nobody was hurt. Oh. Oh, it's gonna collapse. It's gonna collapse. Back up, get away. It looks like, oh my God, is TJ home?
Now, thankfully, everyone inside the house at the time, they managed to escape like through the windows and stuff. No one was harmed. Everyone was safe. But obviously still, it sucks to have your entire childhood home burnt down, and not including that, the memorabilia in there, the stuff that you've bought in there. That is probably hundreds of thousands of dollars just gone up in smoke straight away, even if you have insurance. Then Noah did another follow-up video, basically a story time. I even remember seeing people in the comment section saying he's milking it at this point because he did like 7 videos. Again, he lost his fucking home. I don't really know like how else to explain that. I think he's completely within his right to milk a situation, milk with huge quotation marks.
I just lost everything in a house fire today. I grew up in this house. I was homeschooled. I did school in this house, and now it's just completely gone. Everything in my room is completely lost. I had just gotten a PC back in July. I had my Switch in there. I had all of my filming equipment in there. And now this is what is left of my room. The window that I had to climb out of to get out of my room was right there. That is the AC unit I had to climb over to get out that window. Luckily though, we were able to save a lot of things like family photos. We did end up losing a lot of family memories in this fire, but there's still a lot that we were able to salvage that luckily did not get burned. Yesterday I had everything and today I have nothing. And I don't know how to go forward because this has never happened before. Not to me at least. So please cherish everything that you have because you don't know how long it'll be yours for.
But yeah, he basically went on to say that thankfully he was able to save the things that mattered, like for example, family photos, portraits, but obviously his entire equipment, it was destroyed, probably because he couldn't get it out the house in time. Now, the thing is, you'll notice about the TikTok comment section, it is full of complete degenerates. To be fair, I always thought the YouTube comment section was some of the worst comments you could find on the internet, but YouTube has actually destroyed YouTube comments so bad that no one bothers commenting there anymore, apart from copy pastors. The reason why people try hard so much in the TikTok comments is because they actually have a very small, minuscule chance of ratioing the entire video itself. And then obviously you've got the Instagram top comments as well, where it's just always like a racist gif or something, but that is a completely different video in of itself. But look at this for an absolute scholar. So there's a comment section here basically saying, how did the fire even start? People assumed it was like, you know, Christmas lights or something. And then one guy pipes up and says, it's fake. And I think by the look of it, I think he's got a football profile picture. So that is like, that's on the same level as an anime profile picture, basically. And then he gets absolutely shut down by this 13-year-old demigod. As a 13-year-old, that's actually mature. You should not be 13. You act like you're 10, and your bio shows how immature you are, and there's so much proof. Good God. Oreo ice cream. Someone give that man a knighthood. Now, Noah did actually set up a GoFundMe as well, which again garnered a lot of criticism because God forbid the guy that his entire house burned down, he asks for money. Obviously, the main criticism at the time is this guy is absolutely minted. I mean, look at the size of his house that burned down, guys. He must have so much money. I mean, he probably does have an insane amount of money, but I still feel that, you know, he's still allowed to make a GoFundMe. But despite the random British e-celeb telling him that he can make the GoFundMe, it kind of flopped. It got about 10%. It raised around $11,000 out of $100,000. I really like the guy with the Walter White profile picture saying, "You rich plus insurance. Got it, little bro." Like, you know, this random child on the internet is going to know that he actually filed out an insurance claim on his childhood home. And then Noah uploaded so far the final video where he basically showed a voice recording of his brother trying to escape the house.
I had to escape through the second story via a ladder. While he was getting the ladder, I was on the phone with my brother-in-law leaving a voicemail because I had been trying to call him back. And he saved the voicemail and sent it to me. This is that voicemail of me right before I escaped the house.
The window? Oh, not that window. It's this window. Hey, Diddy? No, that window. Hey! Hey! Diddy! Help! Hey, we're gonna drop down the ladder! Hey, Diddy! Go over there! We're dropping down the ladder! Okay, hurry! Hurry!
It's a weird situation because you've got a guy whose entire house burnt down, but most of the children that watch him think, I don't care. You're just the guy that tells me the thing that's trending. I don't care about you. What do you mean GoFundMe? I don't have money. I spent it all on V-Bucks on the Fortnite store. But obviously, that being said, I really don't see a single problem with the guy having a GoFundMe. He's obviously gone through something very traumatic, having his, you know, entire house burnt down. Also, I do want to clear up. I did mention earlier that the GoFundMe goal actually flopped because, you know, it only reached around 10% of its goal. By the time I finished this video, it's actually already doubled to like 17K. And by the time this video goes out, it will probably be at around 20K. I'm looking at the donations now. There wasn't any actual whales that gave out a ton of money, but there are people donating, you know, basically multiple times every minute. But yeah, obviously a really rough situation all around. I just, you know, I wish the best for the guy. I look like a jump scare in Slender Man.